no be like we comment we subscribe no share the notification bell on side to the akosama say the be news about one thing on side to the account first within Eddie or big game or see na me dey kase go ebro you borrow is no money you borrow e wo Ghana ya ifise na e chain am say ken forata kai to do o man Ghana no ken forata ko pin o Washington USA at say only pay for what na say you meeting kase to the course na I be sensitive ya show meeting between say between kasika ya hwehwe na say Ghana economy to me gina brand na ntia e ba ne say the International Development Association of the World Bank it will guarantee the payment of $372 million on behalf of the government of Ghana for the 2030 Euro bond and also one step about
Well, the International Development Association of the World Bank has made a guarantee payment of $372 million on behalf of the government of Ghana for the 2030 Eurobond. This is coming after the country defaulted on its coupon payment on April 14 this year due to the debt moratorium announced on December 19th last year. There's more in this report.
The payment was done on April 20th, 2023. In 2015, the nation faced difficult market conditions. It had large financing needs, high debt levels that were maturing soon, and no access to international financial markets. The Finance Ministry then sought help from the World Bank to meet these goals and requested a policy-based guarantee in combination with a credit from the International Development Association to be able to mobilize the volume of financing needed to settle upcoming debt repayments. A policy-based guarantee was then secured. In this case, Ghana issued a $1 billion Eurobond series due in 2030. The 2030 Eurobond was backed by the International Development Association's guarantee, covering up to $400 billion in both principal and interest. Since then, the government has bought back and cancelled $70 billion of the 2030 Eurobond, reducing the amount of guarantee to $372 million.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta says Ghana may have to wait some 2 or more years before returning to the international capital market. According to him, the country's temporary obstruction from the international capital market is an opportunity to finally pursue earnestly our homegrown agenda. Now, speaking to Joy Business, Mr. Ofori-Atta said in the interim, Ghana would leverage local resources to generate some revenue.
You saw what happened when there was no sense of where we were going last year, and the currency took a nosedive, etc. And people were just not sure, and there was lack of confidence. Obviously, there's been some stability with these discussions going forward. The market responds to, any system that is looking at its, expenditures and revenues. And as long as we keep at it, I think the market will be positive. In terms of returning to, let's say, the international capital markets, I suspect it to take, some 2-3 years or so, if not more, for us to get back to it. In the interim, we should be able to generate local resources to do that. But I think what's also significant about the program, if you look at the Ghana Cares program, is our policy to be self-sufficient in poultry, rice, tomatoes, etc., which we began to do. And so that will reduce your foreign exchange demands and actually, hopefully, also begin to export those products.
The Zambian currency jumped to become the best currency in Africa as soon as they got the program. Are you waiting with bated breath on the positives for the economy when this program is closed and the announcement is made?
I'll be very excited about the announcement being made, that's for sure. I think really we should just be calm about it. Let's get into the discipline of working hard, the discipline of not relying on imports, but looking at an export-driven economy, to put an end to the importation of food, that's for sure, and just not waste the resources, and our own maybe senses of entitlement, should be abated some and work for what we want to consume.
Now, the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana is cautioning government on the treatment of newborns under the Debt Exchange Program. According to the Institute, this must conform to international financial reporting standards to ensure consistency and transparency. Speaking at a Health, Work and Fun Games to mark the Institute's 60th anniversary, President Sena Dake said the Institute has issued some policy imperatives on the newborn arrangements for government's implementation.
Ghana has not been on the bench in this matter. From December, when the announcements were made, ICA Ghana had a breakfast meeting. We issued a communique to government on our views and what we expect government to do. It somehow coincided with the release of budget, so we had contributions made in the budget preparation and to some of the controls and financial disciplines that had been put in the budget as from we contributed, we made input in that. Beyond that, it's good to have it passed by Parliament, but it's another thing implementing. So at the level of implementation, we are encouraging our members who are accountants in all sectors and in the Ministry of Finance and Bank of Ghana and all the other sectors to ensure that they abide by standards. So how to treat the newborns, how to treat the losses are things that are very fundamental in our financial standards, international financial standards. And so ICA Ghana has issued 4 discussion papers to direct the treatment of accounts for all accountants, auditors and finance people who have the authority or have the mandate to work with this new bond or new debt arrangements.
So from the accountant's perspective, what is your word of advice to government in this whole negotiation process?
The negotiation process, we wish government well. We want the best for Ghana. We know Ghana is a very peaceful country, and so investors should still have confidence in us, irrespective of the fact that we are having some challenges. But the most important thing for all of us, not only to government, to everybody who is interested in seeing Ghana grow, is reduce waste. Let's reduce waste. That is very important.
Now, as Muslims across the world observe Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of the month of Ramadan, some dressmakers in the Techiman municipality of the Bono region, or Bono East region, are lamenting low patronage as customers are struggling to cope with higher prices and the rising cost of new clothing. They say the current global economic downturn, coupled with the high cost of electricity, is having a toll on their trade. Correspondent Anas Sabit has more.
The cost of living crisis continues to severely impact lives, putting financial pressure on many individuals, families and communities, and tailors and seamstresses are not left out as prices of sewing materials continue to skyrocket, thereby affecting their trade. As Muslims mark the Eid al-Fitr festivities, tailors usually make a lot of money during this period, but the situation isn't the same this year, as they say the rising cost of materials is adversely affecting their tailoring businesses. Salu Mekankan is the CEO of MKK Executive Fabrics.
Ana ciki ne kaman kan da aka saba sai godiya. Amma matsalan ne gaskiya kaya yayi tsada.
Our customers are complaining due to the rising cost of materials.
Yanzu dai abin da ka san kaman ana sai unwan sidi ne ma ya lunka, wani ma ya fi haka.
Everything in terms of the materials we use in line of our work is being sold at higher prices at this time around, and so our job is affected in diverse ways. He noted that some clients are unable to pay for their items after they have been sewn due to the high cost of materials. Some of our clients are unable to pay for their items after we are done with them due to the cost involved. Isaac Nsietabiru tells me that aside the high cost of materials, the sharp rise in electricity tariffs is also contributing to their hardships.
Hey, light there. Hey, light is there.
The cost of electricity these days is higher, and you know our machines are being powered by electricity, so we spend a lot in purchase of power.
and any similar cost the International Development Association of the World Bank. I guarantee a payment case as a Sika Pudo Payatu Diamo Ghana. I Sika Pudo $372 million on behalf of the government of Ghana, the Sevilla Safani now Ghana, Edmo Apotin Pardon, or for the 2030 Eurobond, Sika is a good news case part. It's me a hit of Ghana, yes, so Niaji Baba. I had a mommy brave, I'm the media, I'm the brain in the EC. This is what we have a comment section also about Chewa, and I'm Yabram, so to make in kind, and the amount. Yam Dicassi, we are meeting at the Obligable City, Macron.